Hello and welcome back if you have watched my podcast before, and if not, my name is Nancy. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to show you a little tutorial on how I construct the collar for the orchids dress, which I'll pop a photo of up here. This is probably my most favorite make of 2021, and I've already made one in 2022. It's by Vivian Shao Chen. The collar instructions in the pattern I don't think are written very well, but that doesn't matter. I love the pattern regardless, and I just thought I'd come on and show you how I do it. Yeah, might make it easier for someone else. So I've cut out my pattern in this beautiful Ellie print from Spotlight. I'm going to go ahead and press the I'm going to go ahead and press the placket, the button placket on the bodice, and then I'm not going to sew that together. I'm then going to sew the side seams and the underarm seams together, and I'll come back and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so this is what I mean by I've just pressed and not sewn. I've just done it in at its seam allowance and then to the marker, and I'm just going to leave that. You could pin it if you liked, but I'm not going to top stitch that down just yet, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, so I've sewn those together and I've pressed the seams to the back, and now I'm going to sew the collar together. So I've interfaced one side like it says in the instructions. Please, at this point, make sure you cut your notches, because otherwise you will be up struggle street when you have to refine them again. So I use my 1/4 inch foot, which I can show you, just so that I can get the 1/4 inch seam properly so that it looks nice and neat. So I'm going to sew that together, and then I'm going to go over to my cutting mat and I'll show you how I pin it to make it look great. Okay, so this is the part where my instructions differ from the instructions given in the pattern. So I have sewn my collar together, I've turned it out. I like to use a chopstick to get it nice and rounded. Make sure you clip the curves as you do that. And I've sewn in my basting stitches here. So to get your collar more, I find it better, you're going to, so here's where your button placket isn't sewn down. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that there, right to the edge of that there, and then we're going to turn that over and pin that down. So then you're going to sew right from the edge there, and then when you're finished, you can turn that over and it will be, that bit there will be sealed. So once you've pinned that, we'll just clip this here so that we can just sew one side to the dress. And then once we've sewn it all together, we can turn it over and fold this extra side out 1/4 inch and top stitch it down. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll show you it after I've pinned it, but before I've sewed it, and then after I've sewn it. Okay, so you can see here that I have sandwiched the collar in between both the placket and the outer, and then I've just put a little tiny snip here so that we'll be able to fold this back when we sew it, so that it doesn't get caught, and we can just sew that one layer of that collar. So let's go and do that now. Okay, I'm going to sew it. I'm really sorry if this is wobbly. It's sandwiched between my legs. So we'll get to the end of the placket there, and then we will fold that back and sew that along. All right, I'm going to finish that, and then I'll come back and show you how we turn it out and pin it and top stitch it. Okay, so I have sewn this all the way around, and now I'm just going to turn that placket out, and voila. So on the inside there, you'll see that this bit here is still up. We're going to iron this up and then iron this down just so it's just over, and then we can sew this placket down as well. I'm going to pin the utter shit out of this, and then I will top stitch it, and I will show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, so you can see I have put lots of pins in. I'm actually going to top stitch it from the outside, but I've put the pins up so I can pull them as I go. And then I will also pop this down as well, and then I'll come back and show you the finished, and I'll show you my first one so that you can see the difference. It's finished. So you can see how easy that really was. It goes right to the edge, and then on the inside it's concealed. It's a little dodgy there, but that was my own fault. Yeah, so you just snip that bit and tuck it up, and then it's done. So I will show you, this was the first version I made, and I really love it. I wear it all the time, but you can see the difference in my collar construction. This is, I sewed the placket up and then sewed this on and very dodgy tried to tuck that in, which is what the instructions say to do. I really love this pattern. I'm not ragging on it. I just want to be able to help somebody else that might be struggling with it. Yeah, so now I'll finish it and gift it to my sister-in-law. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this helped. If you've got any questions, leave a comment, give me a like, subscribe if you really want. But other than that, thank you.